Get ready for some mind-blowing facts about our world that will leave you awestruck. The 20th century was a time of great progress, from the first airplane flight landing on the moon, but with progress came new challenges like environmental concerns and the AIDS epidemic. Our world is 70% water and only 30% land, and almost all of the Earth's water is salty. Did you know that if all the surface ice melted, sea levels would rise by about 70 meters? The land is divided into continents, and depending on who you ask, there are either 5, 6, or 7. But some people might argue that there are different ways to categorize continents based on cultural or historical factors, rather than just physical geography. Moving on to some quirky and interesting facts about the world population, did you know that as of July 2022, the world population has hit a whopping 7.9 billion people? China and India take the cake for the most populated countries, while the Holy See, Vatican City, takes the title for the smallest population. When it comes to languages, English is on top with Mandarin Chinese and Hindi following closely behind. But did you know that there are over 7,000 languages spoken in the world? That's a lot of words. Now, let's get to the important stuff: religion. Christians and Muslims make up the majority, with Hindus and Buddhists not far behind. As for age, we've got a decent mix of young and old. About a quarter of the population is under 14, while around 10% is over 65. More than half of the world's population, about 57.5%, lives in cities. And get this, the urbanization rate is increasing at a rate of 1.73% per year from 2020 to 2025. Are you curious about the largest urban areas in the world? Tokyo, Japan; New Delhi, India; Shanghai, China; Sao Paulo, Brazil; Mexico City, Mexico; Dhaka, Bangladesh; Cairo, Egypt; Beijing, China; Mumbai, India; and Osaka, Japan, make up the top 10 urban agglomerations, with populations ranging from 19 to a whopping 37 million people. With all these facts, it's easy to see how amazing our planet really is. Are you ready for a thrilling adventure? Let's explore some fascinating facts about countries and their names that will keep you on the edge of your seat. For example, did you know that Albania is known as the land of the eagles, while Anguilla's name comes from eels? Bhutan is famous for being the land of the thunder dragon, and Cameroon's name derives from prawns. The Cayman Islands are named after the caiman, a marine crocodile, and the Faroe Islands mean sheep in Old Norse. Georgia is known as the land of the wolves, and Italy is the land of young cattle. But that's not all. Kosovo is the field of blackbirds, while Sierra Leone is the Lion Mountains, and Singapore, well, it's derived from the Malay word sing, lion, and pura, city, making it the Lion City. But wait, there's more. Did you know that the shortest country name is Fiji with only 4 letters, while the longest country name is the Kingdom of the Netherlands, with 22 letters? And speaking of the Netherlands, its name means lower countries in reference to its low elevation. Get ready to hold onto your seat because the adventure doesn't stop there. The country of Chile is the longest north-south country in the world, stretching over 4,300 kilometers from top to bottom. Meanwhile, the United States is the 3rd largest country in the world by land area, but it ranks only 180th in terms of population density. But what about the economy, you ask? Let's take a look. In 2021, the real GDP, purchasing power parity, was a whopping $134.08 trillion. That's enough zeros to make your head spin. And the growth rate was impressive too, -5.87%. Way to bounce back from the not-so-great -3.12% in 2020. Now, let's talk about the GDP per capita, which was $17,000 in 2021. Not too shabby, but let's be real, we could all use a raise. At least we're moving in the right direction from 2020's $16,200. Inflation is a bit of a bummer, with the consumer price index going up 3.5% in 2021. But hey, at least inflation rates have been declining for most countries. Let's celebrate the wins where we can. When it comes to industries, we're seeing some pretty impressive advances in technology. Computers, robotics, telecommunications, and medical equipment are all getting better and better. But unfortunately, only a small portion of non-OECD countries are keeping up with these technological forces. Keep up, friends. The labor force is a massive 3.463 billion people. That's a lot of humans. The majority of people are working in the services sector at 45.5%. The unemployment rate is 6.18% in 2021, which is pretty decent compared to some non-industrialist countries. Let's take a peek at the numbers. Debt-wise, we're a little bit in the red with 67.2% of GDP being owed. But we're killing it with exports, over $28 trillion worth. We're talking industrial goods to precious stones. We're also importing a lot, over $27 trillion worth. But hey, you gotta spend money to make money, right? We're happy to report that 90% of our population has access to electricity. That's a win in our books. Urban areas are killing it with a 96% electrification rate, but rural areas have some catching up to do at 85%. When it comes to generating electricity, we're pretty diverse. Fossil fuels, nuclear power, solar power, wind power, hydroelectricity, geothermal, and even biomass and waste, we've got it all. We're all about diversifying our energy portfolio. We do have a bit of a love-hate relationship with petroleum products. On one hand, we're producing over 88 million barrels per day and exporting over 29 million barrels per day. But on the other hand, we're importing almost the same amount, so it's kind of a wash. Let's try to balance things out a bit, shall we? And finally, we can't forget about carbon dioxide emissions. We're producing over 35 billion metric tons of CO2. Yikes! Coal, petroleum, and natural gas are the main culprits, but we're working on it. Let's make the world a greener place. Let's talk about some fun facts that connect us all around the world. In 2020, over 8 billion people had mobile phone subscriptions, so it's safe to say we're all pretty well connected. The digital economy is worth a whopping $11.5 trillion globally, which is equivalent to 15.5% of global GDP. That's a lot of zeros, folks. Moving on to transportation, did you know there are over 41,000 airports in the world? The busiest ones are Atlanta, Dallas/Fort Worth, and Denver. But let's not forget about cargo. Hong Kong, Memphis, and Shanghai are the top 3 ports for moving goods. And if you prefer to travel by land, there are over 1 million kilometers of railways to explore, or if you're feeling aquatic, over 2 million kilometers of waterways, with some of the longest being the Nile River, Amazon River, and the Mississippi-Missouri River. But spare a thought for Bahrain, Maldives, and Monaco, who don't have any rivers or natural lakes to enjoy a leisurely boat ride on. Did you know that the Caspian Sea is the world's largest natural lake? And Lakes Huron and Michigan are technically one lake. Together, they're the largest freshwater lake in the world by surface area. Now, onto some global issues. Unfortunately, trafficking in persons is a major concern, with around 800,000 people trafficked across national borders each year. But we can work together to stop it. On a lighter note, worldwide coca cultivation in 2020 was likely around 373,000 hectares. That's a lot of coca leaves. And did you know that Afghanistan is the world's primary opium producer? That's a lot of poppies. So, while there are certainly some heavy issues facing the world today, let's remember to keep a positive outlook and work together towards solutions that benefit everyone. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through the World Factbook. We hope you're as surprised and amazed as we are by the incredible diversity and complexity of our world.